RM Sotheby's is the world's largest collector car auction house by total sales. They are the preeminent market maker of high-quality collector cars and collections, regardless of size or complexity. By working in partnership with the Sotheby's team and its network of 80 offices in 40 countries, RM Sotheby's has established the largest client network of any collector car auction house in the world. Join the RM Sotheby's family by connecting with one of their car specialists at rmsotheby's.com or contact me directly at GStanley at rmsotheby's.com. All right, welcome to the Collector Car Podcast. This is going to be a very different episode as I am launching Octane FM. It's a made-up name, basically car songs. I'm calling them car-tunes, car-tunes. And these are ones I'm actually using AI to create. So I've done the lyrics. I'm not the singer, but I've come up with all the music, and it's a lot of fun. I just launched 5 or 6 yesterday, so I'll give you a quick peek at those. But those are already posted, so you've probably heard those so far. So I'll give you a sneak peek at some of the other ones that are coming up. This has been a lot of fun. And what I'm going to do for every one of my guests or subject matters going forward, I'm going to have a fun little song to start off each podcast, probably 30 seconds. And then at the end of the interview, I will have the complete song. And so it's just going to be really, really a lot of fun. So like I said, let me give you a snippet of the 5 songs or 6 songs I just released today, and then I'll talk about what's coming up.
Engine's dead in the dark. Cave is cold, I can't spark. Boots on steel, fists of stone, but I'm stranded here alone. City screaming in the black. Jokers laughing, knives at my back. Reach for the keys, they're not there. Stealing rage, fill the air. I am the shadow, I am the fight, but I can't drive into the night. I'm locked out of the night. No wheels, no flight.
Saw a 911 sitting pretty on the street. Color so sweet, knocked me off my feet. Asked the dude what shade that was. He said PTS man, and it only cost because
You want it rare? You're gonna pay. Custom paint, mortgage today.
PTS, Porsche Tech Syndrome. Pick your poison, paint your throne. PTS, Porsche Tech Syndrome. Flex so hard you break your phone.
Mint green dreams and frozen berry fights. Y'all arguing online deep into the night. Color charts dropping, forums on fire.
A lilac 901, just raise the bar higher.
Vylor.
All right, you see how I'm trying to use a lot of different music styles there, along with some snarky commentary maybe, I don't know. But what do I have coming up in the future? So a lot of cool stuff here. I have one coming up here about what Darth Vader would drive. In my mind, is a black on black Porsche 930 Slantnose. I don't know why. I just think that would be really cool for him. So let's take a listen.
Out of the shadows, hear that engine scream. Twin turbos whistling like a bad dark dream. Blacked out Porsche, Slantnose on the street. Sith Lord rolling on some turbo heat. Vader's riding in a black on black. Slantnose turbo, no mercy, no slack. If you hear that boost and the tires moan, you know Darth Vader's heading home.
So one thing I want to do with these songs is kind of poke fun at some of the arguments that we have in the collector car world. And one of them is, where's the correct engine placement? Everybody talks about the Porsche having the engine in the wrong spot. So here's a song about that.
hear that motor whine. Pop the hood up front, ain't nothing but a trunk inside. Got my Beetle buzzing, got my Porsche screaming loud. Engines in the back, man, we're driving upside down. Yeah. Engine in the wrong place, running wild and free. Boots in the front, parties in the rear, just where it ought to be. Engine in the wrong place, breaking every rule. If you're sitting in a Beetle or a 911, you're cool.
Now, you know, I've done a podcast based on the different logos and mascots of cars in the past, but the one that always floored me, was always really weird, was Alfa Romeo. So if you look at the Alfa Romeo today, it looks like a dragon or a serpent sticking its tongue out, but honestly, it really is a dragon eating either a baby or eating a knight. It's a little unclear if you go back into the history of the brand, but I thought, you know what, that is worth having a fun, quirky song. So take a listen.
I bought myself an Alfa. Thought I'd roll in style. Red paint, leather seats, and that sexy Italian smile. But then I looked a little closer, and I started feeling odd. That logo's got a dragon snacking on some poor guy's bod. Hey, hey, Alfa Romeo, why is your emblem such a show? Is that a knight or just some dude getting chewed up like fast food? Hey, hey, Milano pride, but that snake's got homicide in its eyes.
Like I said before, you can get the complete song on YouTube, and if you want to, you can hit the playlist. There's an Octane FM playlist, and you can play all, and I'll have a new song coming pretty much every day, I hope. Something else that I wanted to do was, we own a 2014 Toyota FJ, and it is white, and my wife called it the Stormtrooper, or, you know, that's the kind of ride Stormtroopers would have. So I said, what a great subject for a song. So here is Stormtrooper FJ Love.
Polishing my helmet, checking my gear. Spotted that FJ, nearly cried a tear. White on white, just like my suit. Four-wheel drive, and it's looking real cute. Stormtroopers love a white FJ. We can't hit targets, but we drive all day. Miss the rebels, but we look okay. Rolling deep in a shiny FJ.
Now, you probably picked up a little bit there. I tried to mess around with the music to get a little bit of the cantina sound from the original Star Wars. I don't know that I was exactly successful, but it had a cool, fun flair, fun aspect to it. So hopefully you caught on that. The next thing I kind of wanted to make a song of was Ferraris, obviously. Everybody loves Ferraris. And I thought, what would be fun to write about? And a while ago, I did a podcast episode. I think it was called The Big 5+1 Ferraris. And so when you talk about the Big 5 Ferraris, it's always the 288 GTO, then the F40, then the F50, then the Enzo, then the LaFerrari. So those are the big ones. Today, Ferrari is hoping that the F80 will be the next one, the Big 6, because it's the 80th anniversary of Ferrari. But take away the F80, that hasn't proven itself yet. So those are the Big 5 Ferraris. And people really go after trying to get those Big 5 Ferraris. But what's the king of all Ferraris? It's the 250 GTO. And it's rare that you'll ever see the big quote-unquote 5 Ferraris with a 250 GTO. So I thought, you know what, let me make a fun song about that. And when it spit out this style, it wasn't the style I was seeking, but the way the song turned out, I thought it was really cool. So I kept it as is. So, you know, let's take a listen.
Got my eye on a 288 turbo wine. She's running late. F40 screaming red and raw. Carbon fiber, pure outlaw. They say five's the magic call, but deep down, man, you want it all. Chasing the Prancing
I know a lot of you out there are probably a fan of the John Wick movies, and I thought that would be a fun one to lead with. That's probably the one you've seen the most out there right now. But John Wick, if I remember from the movies, now granted I watched them on an airplane, and I'm not a big study of John Wick films, but he had a 69 sports roof Mustang, and if I remember correctly, it was not a Mach 1, and it was not a Boss 302 or a Boss 429. And so I thought, you know what? That would be a kind of a funny subject for a song. So let's take a listen to John Wick's Ride Wasn't Even a Boss.
John Wick's riding low, looking mad and mean. Got a 69 Mustang, but it ain't what it seems. Ain't a Mach 1, not a Boss 302. Just a plain old pony painted dark. Shelby wings, you're pulling out the guns, bringing all that pain for a base model coupe with a rusted frame. Oh, Johnny, put it down. Hayward, tearing up the town.
All right, let's talk about another one here. Supercar dreams and a minivan life. I thought this would just be a great subject because I know a lot of people, males and females, mothers and fathers, would much rather drive something other than a minivan. I know they would love to drive a Lamborghini. So I thought, you know what? That would be a fun song. So let's listen to a little bit of that.
Late again, kids in tow, juice box floods, soccer clothes, minivans are rolling, dumpster fire. Hit the gas, stereo blast, crayon art on all the glass, still dreaming of that Aventador empire. Could have been a queen in a Lamborghini, now I'm stuck with stale French fries. Where do you even put a booster seat in a car that barely fits two guys? Supercar dreams in a minivan life, trading turbo boost for a bag of wet wipes. I want butterfly doors, but I've got sliding boards, rocking these highways at soccer mom speed.
All right, the next song I've struggled with just because, you know, I don't like to curse. But some reason I like the word douchebag. I don't know why. Say DB, whatever. It just kind of, you get a point across by using that word. And I know there's a lot of folks that are kind of jerks in the automotive world, whether that's, you know, doing burnouts or revving their engine too high, just annoying people in the automotive world. So I thought it'd be fun to do a song called Automotive Douchebags.
Revving at the red light, thinking they're a king. Chrome so bright, but they don't know a thing. Bass turned up, rattle in the trunk. Texting at the wheel, man, your ride still stunk. Automotive douchebags driving me insane. Big old truck, but tiny little brain. Speeding through traffic just to hit the next jam. Automotive douchebags don't.
So you're probably thinking to yourself, how long can Gray keep this up? How long can he write songs if he's doing one a day? That might not be realistic, but I feel like I can go really deep on a lot of stuff. And some of it can be topical, like tariffs. If you're watching the news, as long as you're not hiding in a cave, you know, there's a lot of talk about tariffs right now. So I thought, you know what, let me do a song about tariffs. And why don't I call it Tariff Blues? So take a listen.
Rolling down the highway, wind in my hair, dreaming about a shiny ride sitting over there. But there's a storm blowing, coming real fast. President's got a plan, and it's gonna hit at last. Tariff Blues heavy on my mind, hashtags climbing like a mountain.
Another subject I thought would be fun to write a song about are things that annoy us, such as folks that drive slow in the left lane. So that is what this song is all about.
Cruising down the highway trying to make some time, but there's a turtle in the fast lane, man, it ought to be a crime. Got their blinker on for miles, but they never change their course. Grandma's passing on the right, riding a wild horse. Oh, left lane lingerers, slow motion swingers, got me tapping on my wheel like a rock and roll singer. Move it on over, take the scenic route, 'cause the left lane's crying and it's kicking you out.
Okay, I'm not going to share all the songs with you. I know these are just 30-second, 1-minute snippets. Like I said, go to the YouTube channel, hit the Octane FM playlist, just hit select all or play all, and you'll hear all of these. But some of these will be based on podcast episodes from the past. Now, one of them that is definitely based on podcast episodes. Not that long ago, I had a episode about pop-up headlights. So your Fieros, your Trans Ams, all sorts of stuff, mostly from the 80s and the 90s. So this song is called Pop-Up Party Lights.
Cruising down the street in a retro ride, flip a little switch and pop they hide. Then I hit the lights and up they go like robot eyes in a late night show. Kids on the sidewalk yelling whoa, like I just did a magic show. Forget your Teslas, forget your screens, I got headlamps straight from your dreams. Pop-up headlights, peekaboo glow, winking at traffic everywhere I go. One flips up, the other one too, the coolest thing your Civic can't do. Pop, pop, baby, lights on.
Now, I thought it would be fun to stay in the 90s, late 80s, early 90s. And if you remember, there were a lot of little tiny mini pickup trucks out back then. Mitsubishi, Suzuki, and there's a strong following on these Japanese mini trucks that could go for like 500,000 miles and just keep going. And we no longer make those, which is really unfortunate. But I thought, you know what? That is a great subject for a song.
Got a rust spot on the fender, tailgates hanging loose, bench seats torn, but she still hauls juice. 5-speed stick and a 2-liter heart. She ain't fast, but she's got that spark. No leather seats, no fancy trim, just a window crank and a tire that's slim. From Tokyo Steel to the local lot, she'll outlast every Ford you got. Little trucks, big vibes, rolling.
Now, if you listen to the other podcast I'm a part of, Full Throttle Talk, you know that there's a lot of talk about Ferraris and how you have to buy the cheap one to get the big one, and you got to buy multiple Ferraris, and that is just a big old pain in the butt. Well, I thought, you know what? That's a good topic for a song. Let's write about, the fact that you got to buy an entry-level Ferrari to even be considered one day, possibly in the future, if you cross your fingers and your toes, to get one of the more significant Ferraris. So this one is called Buy Low to Ride High.
I got a dream, it's red and mean, V12 screaming pure gasoline. But the dealer man just shook his head, said, son, you ain't earned that ride yet. He said, you want the big boy toys, you gotta pay your dues, make some noise. Gotta buy low to ride high, stack those keys if you wanna fly. From the Cali to the Roma, then maybe you'll try for that 812 screamer.
And I think the last one I'll bring up here, there's a lot still. I mean, I have one on Duesenbergs. I have one on the McLaren F1. I have one on Lamborghini guys revving their engines really loud. A lot of cool stuff that I have coming up. I have a song about the analog cars from the early 2000s, the Jaguar XK220, how it never reached it. I have one about Corvette owners wearing jorts. A lot of stuff coming up, but why don't we close on a fun one? Back to 1985. Let's close on Back in My DeLorean.
Cruising down the street in 85. Got a crazy dock and a dream to drive. Flux capacitors humming, time circuits glow. Punch it to 88 and away we go. Got my red vest on and my kicks are tight. Skating through time in the middle of the night. Back in my DeLorean, lightning in my veins. Racing through the decades, tearing up the lanes. Past or future, baby, it's all the same. When you're back in my DeLorean, chasing fame.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this kind of a little reprieve as far as, the typical podcast episode. So as always, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Please share my songs because I really enjoy doing that. And I hope that they find their audience where I can keep on doing them. So I'll talk to all of you next week and listen in tomorrow for a new song.